everyone. Welcome to the Melancholy Coaching Podcast. I'm Fran, your host and NLP coach. Join me as I interview inspiring business owners and self-improvement seekers about their experiences whilst delving into personal development, motivation and strategies for overcoming challenges. Let's ignite our creative potential together. Hello and welcome to Melancholy Coaching Podcast. I'm Fran, your NLP coach, and I'm pleased to introduce an inspiring guest. Through belief coding, NLP, visualization, energetic healing, and meditation, Ashling empowers women to discover their true selves and live with purpose. She leads glamorous foraging and wreath-making workshops, crafting beautiful, intentional spaces where women can freely be themselves and celebrate life. Ashling is also a healthcare assistant, has studied palliative care and is currently pursuing end-of-life doula studies. Ashling, welcome to the show.
Hello. Glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. The way this works is I'm a curious little being, so I'll ask you a couple of questions that I've kind of got pre-prepared, and we'll have a conversation around that if that's okay with you,
That's
and
perfect.
find out more about you and what you get up to.
Okay, thank you.
So first of all, can you tell us more about you've got a very unique blend of putting stuff together. So within the visualization and the NLP, so you've got a unique blend. Can you, and it's a blend of techniques. So can you tell us more about that and how it works together to empower women to live with purpose?
Okay, the reason why I we have these traumas from childhood, right? And a lot of the triggers, this is what I discovered because I learned about re-educating myself about 6 years ago. And I went to, so I was working with the mind and I didn't notice the triggers. I didn't know what was blocking me. So I was able to, I studied all this, but there was something blocking me. And I was like, what is this? So I started to study belief coding then about 4 years ago. And I realized that was the key to actually, because I actually got to I knew my purpose. I could visually see the purpose. But what was blocking me was the triggers, the negative beliefs. But I didn't understand that until I did belief coding, because belief coding gets right into the subconscious, really clears the negative beliefs so that you can actually reach the purpose, because we're all born leaders and successful. And, as a child, you are imaginative, you are playing all the time. You just can't help dream, and the dreams start coming realistically as you're going along in life. But what happens as you go as an adult, you become so serious, caught up in the traumas, that you actually block yourself from getting to that purpose. So every time I was blocking myself, like social media, I don't like social media, but there was a block behind that. There was a block behind actually meeting a community. I started up with the meeting, getting business women together, but that originally was blocking me because I was like, I'm better on my own, but that's not true. I needed a community to build my own. So I had to unblock that belief. So each time I seen it, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting closer to that goal. I'm getting closer. So I want to show women, if you want to reach your purpose, but what you're allowing is that blockage, that trigger to stop you from getting to that purpose. So they can see the thoughts coming up. They can see, okay, there's a negative one coming up and there's a positive. So let's work on that today. Let's get rid of that emotion. So that emotion comes up. Where is that coming from? Then you figure out the negative beliefs behind that. Then when you clear, like we go into the memory, we go do the energetic healing, we clear it, then you get to the next step. You actually start realizing, you actually start noticing, I actually can, this is easy going on social media. This is so easy now. So you reach that next step. Then you're challenged again with something else. You're like, oh my God, I can't do this. But then you say, no, there's a block again. So then you get clear this block and then you get to the next step. And you just keep doing that until you take the step every day to see yourself getting to that purpose. And the reason why I do the whole purpose thing and see that dream, and I make it big, because that's the thing. We are the creators. We make things bigger and bigger. And the more you do that, the more your brain starts, it just can't help it. It just wants to get to that purpose. But the only thing that's stopping is your mind, that them blockages. So that's why you need to, it's so important to clear. That's why I do the belief coding on myself, because I'm not stopping until I get to that purpose. And that's what keeps you so alive, and so like your life is incredible because you see those steps every day. And when you see those steps every day, you're like, oh my God, this is the magic. This is what's happening. It's actually happening. But these steps could be tiny. It could be making a phone call to someone. It could be going on social media and doing some marketing. It could be networking with someone. It could just say, let's do this work. And it's so easy, instead of getting in the way every day, instead of just looking at what am I going to do. But I have the research, I've done the work, and I'm still doing the work. And I'm not going to stop until I get to that purpose. And I want that for women as well. And they deserve that. They are
So
worthy
would
of their purpose.
so would you say that, because I don't know a lot about belief coding,
Yeah.
so would you say that blending belief coding with neurolinguistic programming and with visualization and with meditation, it makes it more powerful,
Yeah.
or is it that it allows women to access it as such in different ways? So maybe they resonate more with the meditation side of things, and then you blend in the belief coding.
Um, yeah, so what I do is the belief coding is part of it. There's little sections in
Okay.
the thing. But if you're filling your mind, see, first of all, we go into the belief coding, and that's where we get the negative belief, right? We get that part. And then we look at what was your dream outcome. And then we look at the dream, and you're like, oh my God, because you always want something beautiful. So we look at that, and then we code in the new beliefs. Because if you're dreaming
Right.
the creation, you can't help saying, I am this beautiful person. I can do this. Because you start seeing the creation. You start seeing your future self. Do you know what I mean? So like you
Yeah.
build your
So it's
mind.
like putting this, it's like putting the steps in, isn't it? So it's all very
Yeah,
well to have a beautiful vision of what you want and
yeah,
some tools and resources that you know can help support you, but it's the
yeah.
steps to get there.
Yeah, so the only thing that's happening to most of us is that we don't believe in ourselves. We actually believe that I can't do this. But if you had this in your life where you have the belief coding, where we're actually really getting so specific, what is blocking you from actually doing that? What's blocking you from being on social media? What's blocking you to actually changing your relationship? What's blocking you? Just ask the question. It's always something within you. It's always deeper. And if you ask that and then you rewire, you actually start just coding in new beliefs then, and seeing the different picture than the old picture you have in your head. We create with the senses. We use our senses. And the sense, I have like a trick how to use the senses. Like you start using your visualization. It's like awakening. I do that in my 11:11 rituals. I awaken the senses. And that's awakening the vision, awakening the hearing, the smell, taste. So if you're really living in that life, you're really living your dream in for the future. And you
Yeah.
use all those representational because your brain starts opening up differently then.
Yeah. And you can really see it and feel it and smell it
Yeah, you
and,
have to
and it,
really live it. It's like you already have it, and it's always at the end outcome. It's always at the end of a celebration. It's end of you see that. You see that the everything in that picture, and it's incredible. And it's incredible to put that together because if you like I'm just going to say this an example, right? I work in every area. And the reason why I do is because it's like a research because when I work in a nursing home once a week, right? And I already have a vision. That's my retreat. So already I'm in there thinking this is my staff. Okay, I'm going to reach out the goodness. I'm already in there. This is my future. But I use it as an opportunity instead of like so I see the bigger picture and I see the end outcome, but I'm already playing an act in there. So when I'm with the older people, when I sing and dance as well. So I like I pretend I have a microphone. So I'm playing the game again as a child. I've did so much healing. I become the life. I become the expression of life. So I'm there singing in front of an audience of older people. And guess what? When you do that, you actually are visualizing your future. And like when I started singing for the first, because I believe code that as well. I always could sing, but I could never sing in front of people. And I started singing, and it just came. It comes like that. Once you release that belief, it just comes, and it's so easy. You're like, how did that even come about? And it just comes because you actually did the healing, did the releasing. And what happens is you just go into this performance of expressing life. So when I did that, then I got gigs. I got other places to sing. I got talks, so many talks this year because I was imagining I have hundreds of people already in front of me. And even though the elderly people were actually my audience, but I visioned for the future, the end.
I love singing. I think that everybody can sing.
Yeah,
Like
I
it's a
do as
really
well.
strong belief of mine.
Yeah,
Everybody can sing. You just got to find the right thing
yeah,
that suits you,
yeah. No,
or
it,
that
it
suits
is
your
true.
tone of voice, or
Yeah,
and yeah, I love singing, and I love that for you as well, that you've discovered that performance side and
yeah,
being a. I think that we're held back a lot by fear, aren't we?
yes,
So
really. Yeah.
if fear, so we're held back from fear from picking up that microphone and singing, or
Mm,
from going on social media, but there's often then something behind that fear. it
yeah, and
goes it
that's
goes on a deeper level, doesn't
mm.
it?
And that's my work, is to help you actually release that fear. And like I know when you're working with people, they're stuck and they won't actually put themselves out because of, and the same as me, I was like that. It's just that I know the process now. I can see the trigger. I can see, okay, if I was taking action all day and I had a particular trigger, but I would say, okay, that I'm going to go to belief coding later on. I can set that aside and say, I'm going to take action all day today, make things work, and then I actually release that trigger. And I'll help people, show them how to do it. And the reason why the purpose comes in, because if you're working in every area, you won't be afraid. You're not like, oh no, I have to do this now. I have to do this. But instead you're like, I'm excited because I have a beautiful purpose to get to. I have an amazing purpose to get to. So I'm not going to stop. That's why I do everything. I work in every area because it helps. It helps. It just, I know I have an amazing purpose to go to. So,
I like
and
to
it
think
helps you
of
ground you,
purpose.
everything.
I like to think of purpose as being like a North Star. It's that
Yeah.
thing that can
Yeah.
guide you as well. And it often gets to be quite simple.
Yeah.
Like we think that, or generally some people might think that it's a big thing. It's huge. I'll never find it. But it can be just a really simple thing, couldn't it? Your
It's
purpose.
the purpose. See, the reason why I do it bigger is because it gets you so excited for life.
Yeah,
And like the thing is, the key is we all have a purpose. And I can help people with the purpose through childhood. If I see any excitement, um, now, and I know people get scared to say, okay, I'm okay, I'm happy enough with just this and that, But if they have a purpose, they have meaning in everything and they do, because that helps them grow. That helps them actually. I'm excited. Even like, I mean, the jobs I do, sometimes you'd be like, how can you do that? But I'm like, I'm excited because I know I'm getting to my purpose. But then I have the mini purposes as well. So I have all these little mini purpose. But if you have the bigger picture, you just can't help want to get there.
right. I get it.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
and
But I
that's
do have the
yeah,
mini purposes as well. I have the
yeah.
small ones because you need those ones for like in the next couple of months or next week, things like that. And what happens is your mind gets quicker at pulling them in because you already see it happening and you know it's going to happen. You're so certain, you're so sure it's not going to not happen. But because you practice so much with the bigger goal, and that's where you start. And that's why, and a lot of my clients now, sometimes they're like, I don't know if I want. I said, but just imagine, just be that child again. Go back there again. And then we pull it in by actually noticing all the great things they loved as a child. And then you see that, then you make it bigger. Then it's so simple when you see the excitement in someone's face, what they're excited about in life.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah.
about the belief coding as well, because as I say, it's not something that I know much about.
Mm,
Um, this you mentioned working with elderly people.
mm,
And another thing that I'm curious about is that you've studied palliative care,
hmm
um, uh, and you're studying about being an end of life doula.
mm. Yeah.
So within that, so palliative care is kind of more of a holistic approach to end of life care, isn't it? Palliative
Yeah.
care. So what do you think that has taught you about living more fully today? Your studies, what does that lend itself to for you?
Like if I was totally honest, right, the truth about it actually came when my sister took her last breath at 33 years old.
Okay.
And my daughter was born a year later, and I saw the first breath and the last breath being taken. And I realized the magic of life. I realized that that last breath being out of this life, and I saw the magic. And I said, dying is a beautiful part of life. It's a wonderful part, and we are in fear. And that's why I did the belief code to actually release that fear. They'll understand more about the whole life cycle, about being born, living, and dying. And it doesn't matter what age it is. It doesn't matter what age, because when the time is meant to go, it's the time. And unfortunately, this is what I see, because my mom died as well, but she lived a lot on medications and stuff like that, and the nursing home. So what I seen, I don't know if I should talk about all the stuff, because I don't, because I'm researching, and I'm watching.
Fine.
I saw the people die, and I know that sometimes they shouldn't be living as long.
Yeah, but that's I think that's it's a fair observation to make,
Mm.
and it's one
Yeah,
that could be potentially controversial.
yeah,
I understand what you're saying. I've prior to retraining as a neurolinguistic programming coach, I've been a carer for over 25 years.
yeah,
So I've done end of life care,
yeah,
warden work. I've predominantly worked with elderly people. Throughout the whole 25 years, I've done domiciliary work and residential homes, and I've been the only person there in the middle of the night when somebody has passed away, because potentially they've got nobody else. There's no family. There's no other living relatives,
mm,
um, and they've spent the last couple of years more in a state where they're not that aware.
mm.
Um, so I don't know. I think it opens up a big can of worms, doesn't it, about
Yeah,
quality
that's
of
what I mean.
life?
I'm like, I'm
Is
just sussing it out, and I'm educating
yes, that's
myself in
okay.
that sense, because I see the beauty of dying as well, just as much as being born.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Like, so dying for me isn't scary. I know that I'm not scared of it, but I know that when the time comes, fear does come into a factor, curiosity, all the emotions, they come in through the dying part and through the being born. Because I seen it's like different doors opening. It's like it's just like the magic of do you know what I'm saying? The dying and the birth. Of course, it's going to be scary, but I love to live when I'm living truly, to live in a life where I'm living very freely every day. I don't like, I noticed that when COVID came, all that stuff, people are in fear. They're fear
Mm.
of dying all the time. But life shouldn't be like that. It should be like the fawn, the deers, when I'm just saying animal, they live completely. But when there is fear, they have right to have that fear. When they all tense up because there's a threat coming. And yes, they go into that emotion. That's exactly what we should be doing when we're on the way to dying. That like curiosity. But if we're living every day in those fears, we're not living life at all. And that's why I put belief coding in, because I want to show, and that's why I work with the earth. I see the land and I see the cycle of life is such a natural process. And this is, I believe that this is what humans need to do is live life every day and clear out those blockages, clear them out so you can actually understand the being born, living every day, and dying. These are beautiful parts of life, and that's why I'm doing the end of life is this celebration. When someone comes in to the last part, I want to celebrate with them and celebrate with the families. Everything is a beautiful part of who we are. That is what I believe in, and I'm speaking it out loud now, but that's my truth. That's why I wanted to believe coding, so I can help them vibrate into a beautiful energy every day,
Yeah.
really live a beautiful life, and see. And then when they're working with the earth, you can see that beautiful creation, how we are. Like, and I do mindfulness with the old people as well. And I bring my flowers. I love my garden, and I bring all my flowers. And I said, look, guys, we're a seed. And then we're this beautiful flower expressing life. But unfortunately, humans forget to express that part of life. They forget to be that beautiful princess. They forget to be that beauty and the love and the expression, singing and dancing and jumping around with excitement of life. And then we die. And then one day, old people said to me, so you mean to say we're going to rot into the ground? I said, yes, exactly. You're the beautiful soil of the earth. And you just build for the next generation. It's so simple. And that's why that's why I do that belief go is because they deserve to live a truly beautiful life. Everyone does. And that
Yeah.
I just want everyone to join me because it's a beautiful life when you express life in a beautiful way every day. It's a even the sadness comes, or they're all part of it, but it's beautiful. It's a wonderful part of life. But you're not afraid of it.
It's feeling all the things, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And there's no afraid. You're just sitting with sadness sometimes. You're just like, okay, I'm sad. I'm okay with that, you
But
know?
you have to feel safe enough to sit with those kind of
Yeah, yeah,
emotions.
yeah,
That with building up, your resources or your toolkit or whatever you want to call
yeah,
it, you can have that safe space to sit
yeah,
with these feelings and sit with these emotions. Um, and maybe even you'd need to work on identifying them
yeah.
because sometimes you can feel very potentially sad, but it's not actually sadness that you're feeling.
Yeah, and that's what belief coding helps with that as well.
Yeah.
Because even when I have my clients in my groups, I say, guys, I want you to, because like like every day the results come in. It's just you can't see them and take action because you're already in your head thinking of the problem. When there isn't actually, it was just that we create this problem in our heads. But you can, and so I train eyes there, like, guys, come on, let's see the result, just a baby step. If you see that, then you're able to actually differentiate and actually choose which one you want to choose. And you can choose that state. You can choose that.
Yeah.
And then you can say, do you know, I'm going to do belief coding with Ashling and she will help me clear that. And then I don't have to worry about that anymore. And then I can just have a great day today. Do you know?
So what's next for you?
What's next?
Yeah.
I'm excited because I have lots of great stuff happening. I have two Love Yourself Back to Life programs now. I have the 1111 that opens up your superpowers. It's called 1111 Reset Rituals. It's at 7 a.m. in the morning. I do recordings. I have my own private group as well on Facebook. And I have loads of creation. So we open our minds to creation. So like foraging and doing the reed making. And I am the leader for North Kildare in to get business women together to grow as a community. And that's what we need together. And I next year I have loads of plans. I'm hoping to actually, but I don't know if I want to say that yet. But no, I'm hoping I'm saying it out. I'm not certain yet. No, I should be certain because I really want this. I want to go to India or somewhere to do the end of life once I finish the course. I want to go there for a couple of months and just live it in there and just see.
So when that was going to be a question of mine actually.
Oh yeah.
You're studying to be an end of life doula. So when do your studies complete as such?
It's on my terms. I will hopefully a couple of months because
Right, okay.
I want to I'll get the cert and I have a cert for the palliative care, but I want to educate myself in all areas because I don't think anything's wrong or right. I believe every creation is an incredible idea. And
Yeah.
whatever happens in between, it's not my issue. I just work out what I need and that's it. So, and then,
That's the thing with us having beliefs, isn't it? You know,
yeah,
they're not necessarily for everybody. And I choose to be a non-judgmental being. I know that
yeah,
I am. I know that I
yeah,
am a judgmental being. I'm capable of all the things, whether they're negative or positive, but I choose not to be, you know.
yeah,
I choose not to be because I love listening to people and I love
yeah,
listening to things that they want to create or the ideas that they have. And if you're coming from the point of judgment, you can't hear as well and you can't
yeah.
feel as well. Um,
Well, you limit yourself completely.
yeah. And there
Yeah.
is no right or wrong either. So
No,
this isn't necessarily going to be for everybody.
no,
I mean, as I say, I've done end of life care. I've felt the fears and the, you know, the emotions, and some of it has been really painful. Like it's been a
yeah,
really painful process. So anything that could ease that, um, and make it more gentle or more accepted, or you know, I think I'd welcome it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but it's, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So what's next for you is to complete your studies,
yeah.
doula
Complete my
studies.
studies.
I
Yeah.
think you've got a very holistic approach to life, haven't you?
Yeah, I do. I am very natural. I make my own products. I love dressing up. I'm really, but I am very holistic in that sense. I do everything very naturally. Like even with my house, I make everything from nature. Love my garden. I'm out there all the time. I'm always in nature. I am more holistic and I never go to the doctors. I just believe I have the healing power to do it myself. But that's not for everyone. But I just have that such strong belief. And if anything happens, I won't know, but I'll just go with it and see what happens, you know?
Yeah.
I just I just try and live as much as I can with nature and that higher power and the energy from that.
Do you think, I'm going to ask you a personal question
Okay.
now. Do you think that some of this has come about for yourself due to the loss of your sister, or were you already on this path?
I definitely am. I was very spiritual when I was young, very free, but I was shut down. I was bet up. I was I was told you're told you're stupid, you're tick and all this. And then I went through a really dark period of my life when I was probably about 16 to 19, and it was so dark and my sisters tried to save me, but I wouldn't allow them. My spirit was so strong that I knew I had to go through this darkness and I had to go through it alone. I couldn't get anyone to save me because if I got someone to save me, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And that's when I saw the light. I saw something magical when I awoken from that darkness. But I had to go through the darkness to see that light. And when my sister then was, because that was the I was going through the process of that whole thing, but I was starting to, so it probably kind of started from that dark period to the light, seeing that awakening. And
Yeah.
then when my sister was dying, she was dying for a couple of years, I was grieving as well, a lot of grief then. But and then I was getting into I was trying to get her to go to India. Why don't you just go and do these things and live life now, so it started kind of probably from there. Yeah, it probably started. That was one of the things. And when I saw that last breath, I saw the magic of a lot of things. And that last breath actually brings me to today's story. Like,
Okay. Yeah. It's an
to
important
answer the question, I'm not sure. Sometimes you go
that's
off.
okay, that's okay. It's an important thing that you raised as well, is that quite often we can grieve for the living while they're still alive.
Yeah,
We're grieving.
yeah,
Um, and that takes a lot of processing
yeah. So
as
because she was
well.
3 years, yeah, dying, and I think I did my grieving then.
Mm.
And then there was a lot of change in our relationships. It changed so much while we were going through that grieving, because like it even changed actually when I was a kid, she was my mom because we had 12 in our family. She was my mom. I know my other mom gave birth to me, but my real mom always gave out to me, but my sister was my savior. She was the one that actually grounded me, like she showed me a lot of love. And but our relationship started changing because she realized she had to separate that. So and I was angry at first. I was very angry. I was like, and I want to not talk to her. But there was a big shift that we were actually changing as humans into a different form, but it was healthier. It wasn't toxic anymore. It was because I was kind of that, like, she was my mom. Do you know what I mean? And she wanted to separate. No, we're both the same. Do you know, that kind of way? And it was amazing because towards the end, we became more united. Like, even
Yeah,
though I thought we were, but it was different because I was like the child, you know, that kind of way. I don't know how to explain that one, but
that's
like,
okay.
yeah,
And
so the
potentially your
relationship
sister
changed.
was doing that because, she felt that that was the right thing to do and just to cut
Yeah,
those emotional strings kind of thing,
yeah, yeah,
and it wasn't necessarily what was gonna be right for you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But but at the end of the thing, when before she died, we had this specific close. It was actually more of a really bond. It was an understanding kind of thing. I don't know how to
Do you think
explain
that
it.
the doula work, the end of life doula work lends itself, um, I don't know if better's the right word, but it lends itself more to, um, people that potentially know that they're dying, like they have an awareness that it's and they've got a potential timeline for that, or whether somebody's not aware because they're more in a vegetative state, would it still work?
I think I think it's all the same. I mean, I
Right,
work
okay.
with dementia and I work, do you know what I mean? And I believe, well, I'm not 100% sure if I'm right, but I'm just saying I really believe they know. There's a
Yeah.
knowing in a sense. But even if dementia is only a word, it's not, because when I'm singing and dancing, they come into a state of spirit, and we become one. So I know that the dementia is a name they're given, you know, as, but like when their spirit comes, it's all the same. We're all one. It's nothing different. And they know, they all know, like, I believe that, but I'm because I work and I live with them. I'm not live with them, but I see them, but then when I'm doing the singing and dancing, they become me.
Do you know what I was saying about living with, like, elderly people? That's done in other countries. I've read studies on this,
Yeah,
in where they've had younger people or students actually living in, like, residential or nursing homes with elderly people, and it's a really beautiful, um,
yeah,
kind of mix.
yeah. It is actually, like, I just think they're amazing. I love them so much. Like, and I love. It doesn't matter what state they're in. I believe that they're beautiful no matter what. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And I see that they understand, they get it, like, even though they have their own little things what they do, but everyone has that. Like, even now we're all different, and that's a uniqueness in our sense, you know the way we are, like, and
It's a lot of it kind of revolves around our brains, doesn't it? Because
yeah,
there's studies to support the fact that our brains get lighter as we get older, so potentially they shrink, and it's to do with where memories are stored or where different things in the
yeah,
brain are stored, and that's why dementia has a name kind of thing. It's why it's
yeah,
given that
yeah,
label,
yeah.
and it's quite often why the memories are there of childhood and they're not there of, something more, um, in the moment.
Yeah, because when I'm doing the mindfulness with them, I always do with my flowers and that, like, and but they have brilliant memories of the childhood. Oh my God, my dad never went to doctors. We always went foraging and did, like, so they're
Yeah.
having these topics. They're actually really excited about having these conversations,
Yeah.
because they remember again, do you know, back then, do you know, that kind of way. So, like, the conversations are opening up, like, and it's really good, like, but they're be- they're wonderful. I must say, I love working with the elderly.
Because we can our brains can grow new neural pathways.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and I do believe that even with, conditions like dementia, where, the brain kind of shrinks as such and
yeah,
some of the, short-term memory goes because of where it's stored in the brain, I still think that there are, neural pathways to reach memories that are there. and that you
Oh, I believe
that
that as
can be
well.
built upon,
Yeah.
that
And
can then be
yeah,
built.
because like if you open them up to like that, when I do that, I'm just saying from my work, because obviously I can see the difference because they're having different conversations. Like, you know what I mean? I'd never seen that. And I wanted, well, actually, this was actually, I just remember now, I remember going to her room and she said, they're starting to remember me because like I speak from the spirit a lot of times, right?
Yeah,
But they came in and hold my hand and cried tears and saying, I remember you're the girl that did that talk. You're the one that did that was 3 weeks
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
So like they
So
still remembered.
they've built the
Yeah,
pathway into,
yeah.
yeah,
And
with the
they
connection.
actually remember me as the singer now, even
Yeah,
though they have dementia. But they
yeah.
know that that's her.
Yeah,
She's the singer.
it's making the connections, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Yeah, it's fascinating.
yeah,
So I do neurolinguistic programming as well. So a lot of this lends itself possibly to neuroscience and stuff like that, which I
yeah,
haven't studied, but I do
yeah,
find it fascinating. I find brains fascinating.
yeah.
And it's also why I went into care work because I predominantly
We have a
worked
lot in
with
common.
yeah, I predominantly worked with elderly people because I just found them
Yeah,
so fascinating. I
yeah,
loved all the stories. There's some wonderful
yeah,
stories, and I think that
yeah,
human beings are stories. You
yeah.
know, we
It's a
started
beautiful
as
creation.
stories.
And that's
Yeah,
what it is.
we started by passing on stories, like orally, and and we are stories.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we're gone, the stories remain.
Yeah. And that's why I say, guys, let's make our stories even better because we can create in the
Mm,
future and let's make them magical. And that's what can happen. And I know from myself, doing myself, and then I see my clients, I'm like, yes, let's make this happen because we can. We are the creators. And like the old people, it is great because they actually let go as well.
yeah,
they're letting go of everything. Like I mean, we hold on so much to attachments, but they've totally stripped from everything.
yeah,
And you sometimes are sad about that because you're thinking, oh God, I would hate that. But actually, it's a real cleanse. It's a cleanse of the whole of who we really are. It's a cleanse of actually, we're not attached to anything, not even this body, you know. And that's what I see when I see them. They're cleansing completely. And it's hard to see because you get triggered because you think, oh my God, this is us in whatever time. Because that's what's exactly happening when you get older. You cleanse from everything.
well, I think that potentially that could happen at any age.
Yeah, that can.
It's just more prevalent
And
in
it happened
older
to my sister as
people.
well. You cleanse because when that
Yeah,
stage happens of dying, that's what
mm,
actually happens is you actually are detaching from everything. You're detaching from your body. You're from detaching. You become the spirit. You become that soul,
yeah.
that energy, and that's the end. That's not. There's nothing else. And I believe that energy lives on to the next step because the energy doesn't die. And I'm always happy seeing them because when sometimes I see when they're going to go, not that I see the last breath because I wouldn't do that to families. They need to, that's their job, to be there. But when I go in, I send the light and all that, and I can see. I just say everything's gonna be fine. It's gonna be wonderful. It's like you're gonna see the most beautiful, like because I know that they will because I seen it through my sister, the love and the joy. I could see it in her face. And I know it for them as well. That's the first thing they're going to meet is that no judgment. They're just going to meet that beautiful love that they always wanted to meet. And I just believe that. I really believe that. And so I'm just happy for them then, because I know they're going to see something magical, something so beautiful that we can't even explain.
I actually, I'm going to move this along in a moment.
Yes.
I,
You know,
actually, many years ago, I actually had a near-death experience,
hey,
and it's something that I often think about because it felt really lovely. Like it actually felt lovely. I felt um, calm and shiny, and all the magical things. Like I actually
yeah.
felt that. Um, yeah,
Oh,
it's
it is true.
yeah. So this was many years ago. There's a big story with that. Maybe I'll tell that
Wow.
one sometime.
Yeah.
Um, and I could hear people because they had the crash cart, and because I was in hospital, I coded
Wow.
in hospital, and I could hear them like calling my name, but they were probably all frantically yelling and shouting, and I heard it like it was like um, Frances, like it was like a song,
Oh,
you know?
God.
And I often get called Fran, but my actual full name is Frances, so they would have been calling me Fran because that's how I present myself all the time. But I heard it as my full name, but it was
Okay.
like it was being sung, you know? Like in a magical way, like it just felt really beautiful. So I
Yeah.
think I just floated off somewhere. I'm not too sure really, but yeah,
Oh,
it was something that felt really lovely. So if it's anything like that, then it should be celebrated.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no,
that's
I think it's a miracle anyway. Like I believe that. I've seen it. I've seen it, and I took action this year in something, and I knew that I'm on the right path. Like because something magical did happen this year. It was so powerful. Yeah, and I know it's true. Like, and I know it's going to happen. And I know anyone that I will work with, it will be very magical for them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing. So whatever anybody believes, you're entitled to your beliefs. Your beliefs can change as well.
Yeah, I'm a
Um,
very open person. That's the thing with me. I
yeah,
can change all because I love learning, and every day I
yeah,
can't stop.
you can change,
Yeah,
and there's no right or wrong to any of this. It just
no.
is.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the truth.
so thank you for sharing part of your
Thank you
journey
so
with
much,
us,
Fran.
and I'm sure that listeners of this will have valuable takeaways and potentially a lot of questions from this episode.
Yeah,
So for those of you curious to learn more about Ashling, you can find her on Instagram, and you're currently on Instagram as freshling.ie, and that's freshling.ie. Potentially that may change, but your name's searchable as well.
yeah,
So
Ashling.
on Facebook, it's Ashling Moore, and that's actually spelt not Harriet, not phonetically.
What
So
you?
so your name is spelt like AIS
Yeah,
L. So it's AISLING. Is that
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. Um, and the surname is Moore.
yeah.
So, so for anybody who's curious to learn more about all this shiny stuff, then by all means find Ashling Moore on social media. And if you're interested in more content like this, be sure to visit www.melancholymentor.com and follow us for the latest updates. So that's me. And until next time, stay curious, keep igniting your creative potential, and go and find Ashling.
Thank you.
So is this any like curiosity piqued from this, or questions, or you want to know more? Um, I hope that it's piqued a lot of curiosity for people.
Yeah,
Not only the belief coding, but the whole kind of magical blend of experience that you can offer to the
yeah,
world.
yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, thank you for joining me on the Melancholy Coaching Podcast. I'd love you to subscribe. For queries or to connect, email info@melancholymentor.com. Until next time, keep igniting your creative potential.